Welcome back to Positive Blue Springs here on the BSSD Media Network. I'm Tony Reisinger, Sideline of Sports, and so happy to be joined by Ken Hansen. He's the Director of Bands here at Blue Springs South High School, the Director of the Jaguar Pride Marching Band, fantastic marching band. We, doing the football games every Friday night, we get to see them at least 5 times per year, and Kenny, welcome back to Positive Blue Springs.
Thank you. It's always nice to be here and a delight to be able to come back and sit and talk with you.
Yeah. You know what I love about when I said we get to see you guys 5 times per year is I love to see where as the year goes along from this year it was the 4th week in August the first time we saw you, and now we're coming up we're into to October to see your programs that you select each year, see them progress week by week by week. They just get better and better, and it's just want to say it's an honor to watch your band each week, and it's the community is very proud of it.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's always a little bit nerve-wracking to put your unfinished product, I think, early in the season out there. But we have such amazing students here at Blue Springs, and here at South, the students are they work so hard, and watching them grow week to week and watching them kind of like literally mature in front of your eyes is really, really fun to do.
One of the things here in Blue Springs, we just had Tom Meyer on from Meyer Music, who's going to be in our next segment, but is that music is very important to this community, and excellence is how you would describe the music programs here. Not just here with the Jaguar Pride, but across the way with the Golden Regiment. And many times people think there'd be like kind of a rivalry type between the bands and stuff. But one thing that I know, and talking to Pete Grigsby off camera before we did this here, he talked about when you guys went over to the Golden Regiment Invitational, which is a fantastic program.
It is.
And that after you guys performed, that your band stuck around and watched the Golden Regiment play and was sitting there front row, front and center, cheering them on.
Yep.
And that right there, that is fantastic. It's sportsmanship. It's respect. And and these are young people who are mature beyond their ages, doing this. That right there is people that get it.
Yeah, well, music is not an athletic event. It's we coach a lot during our marching band events and our practices and rehearsals, but music is different. It's such an artistic thing, and what we have started to really understand here at South, and I think they understand it at Blue Springs, is that we're going to produce our show the way we like it. They're going to produce their show the way they like it. We'll have just as many of our parents that'll love their show, and they'll have just as many of their parents that'll love our show, because it's music. It's something that touches your soul. It makes you smile, makes you tap your foot. There's no football that's going to go in the end zone. There's no, we can't put a trumpet lick out there and say, that's going to be so many points or whatever. Right. We just do what we do, and we love what we do. And I really believe that Blue Springs has 2 of the absolute top marching bands in the state of Missouri and in the Midwest area. We're very blessed here.
Tell us, a football coach, he has a bunch of assistant coaches and everything. You have a defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, special teams coach. When you see that marching band out there, and how many members are there in the Jaguar Pride?
This year there's about 175.
175 players, okay? Coach Oder probably has, maybe 100, okay, on a good night. But he has 11 people on the field at one time, okay? You have 175 people on the field at one time. He's got to play split right 14 on 1. That's what they run.
Yep.
Okay, everyone knows they're 11 people. You have 175 people that know they're in step and they're marching. Okay, and they're in perfection, as we know with your past performances with the championships at Mizzou. Okay, what goes into it to make a team of 175 youngsters work as one?
Well, we work real hard right from the get-go to understand that we are the biggest team that anybody's going to watch during the school year. There aren't really any other organizations that have to work with this many people, and we talk about how to be successful, the most important thing you have to do is to be teachable. And in order to be teachable, you have to have love in your heart. You have to be forgiving. And those are the two biggest components, because we're just like brothers and sisters. We're not always going to get along.
Right.
And so we're going to have our days. And, I'm like the parent. There's not always the days that they're going to get along with me. And, and just teaching that's what we have to do first and foremost. And that helps kind of bring us together and understand the common goal. And we talk about that we're trying to be excellent in everything we do, and it's hard to do consistently, with youngsters. So, we have a staff of 12 people. Doug Padgett, who works with me right here at South on a daily basis, is just incredible. And we have Casey Van Bibber, who's at Delta Woods. We have Ashley Cameron, who's at Moreland Ridge, and both of those are on our staff. This is the first time in my 3 years here that both middle school directors are on the marching band staff here, and it's just a great thing. And we have a color guard staff of Rebecca Westmoreland, Ashley White, and Cassandra Wright, and our percussion staff is outstanding with Marcus Newdigate and Gino Lopez, and we have some other techs that come in and help with our woodwinds and things. So we have like Belinda Johnson and Janie Wilson and Evan Johnson.
I know Belinda and Evan, they do great work.
They do.
Great folks, too.
Yes, they are. And everybody just has their thing. We just constantly are just working together to talk. This is the focus this week. This is what we're trying to do. This is what we're trying to do.
And what it also is commitment. Okay, it's not just, hey, I'm in the band. It's commitment. Okay, it's just like football practice, because you guys are out here in the summer, and it's a lot of times it's 100 degrees out there on the pavement and everything, and it's hot. But you guys are out there, and it's not just something you do once or twice a week, okay? You're there. If it's band practice, it's the same as football practice. Yeah. You're there, and it takes physical ability as well. And you know what? It is just as much of an activity as any athletic event.
I feel, when I was growing up, I think what we did was called marching band. And what I feel like what we do these days is more of like an outdoor performing ensemble.
Oh, yeah.
It's a big production on the field. It's we're asking our students to do. Our students are well versed in dance choreography and stuff. I mean, they know what a plie is. They know what a chasse is. We're doing rondejons. We're doing tendus, and there will be people that are in PE classes that won't know those terms or things like that. So we really are pushing our students to do a lot of things.
It's transitioned over the years.
Sure.
I know growing up in Lexington.
Yes,
okay?
right.
Is that Mr. Pylan? Mr.
That's
Merle
right,
Pylan,
absolutely.
And is it the band? You had so many kids, but it was basically you line them up on the yard lines, and they played and performed, and they were a big part of the halftime program. But now it is basically it's a performance. I mean it's an event. Okay, it's not the halftime show where everyone's just lined up on the hash marks and the yard lines. Now you have 175 people going probably 35 different directions.
We have a lot.
Okay?
Yeah.
And you as the director, okay, you're watching all 175. Can you pinpoint the one that's out of step?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yep. I figured that.
I can't not watch them. That's the problem.
And for that one, when they're off step, they're just like, hope Mr. Hansen didn't see me.
That's why we have parents come to our rehearsals on Thursday evenings, because all I can see is the one that's missing it, and their parents will go, "Oh no, I thought it looked much better this week." So I just go, "Oh, okay," because you get stuck watching. All you can see sometimes is what's wrong. So that's why it's good sometimes to go back watch last year's or a couple years ago or 5 years ago and go, because you forget the ones and you just watch and enjoy. So when you're in it, you're just trying to make it as great as it can be right now.
Okay, you recently hosted your own band invitational here. How'd that go?
Oh, it was fantastic. We had 12 bands in, and some of the bands that we haven't ever seen really on this side of the state or up in our area, and so it was really wonderful to have them. And the campus was perfect that day. Weather was wonderful. It was probably just a little bit warm for about an hour or so, and then the clouds came in. It was just fantastic. The bands, I think, all appreciated what it was. I've got lots of emails back from them. Parents enjoyed it. The people who came and sat in the stands, I got lots of cards and emails and things of just very, very positive thoughts. And the directors themselves, we had what we call a critique afterwards, where they got a chance to talk with the judges. And it's early in the season, so the other part of the festival for us was, how do we help other band directors become better at what we're doing, so that the state of Missouri gets a little bit better. And I think that definitely happened, and we're excited about where that will go in the future. So it was very successful.
Football teams, when they see other teams play, they see something that, hey, we could do that. When you see other bands perform, do you see things that, hey, that's something maybe we want to incorporate into what we do?
Yeah. Yes, we're, nothing but, the most creative people are nothing more than first-class thieves,
Right, exactly.
So,
well said.
yeah, and that was the greatest part about going to Dayton, Ohio, is that, we got to see William Mason, Ohio, and Centerville, Ohio, which are, both of those groups are absolutely at the top echelon of what's going on in the activity, and for us to be able to see what that was and our students to witness it and watch it, and they came back and we've implemented some things that we witnessed there. And our parents, by hosting a show, they know what it feels like when somebody comes in and drives in with a truck, and and all of a sudden they react differently, and they know the flow. So when we go places, it was fascinating, the last two shows, because they were like, well, we need to make sure we pay attention to this because we don't want to be this. Yes, I agree. We don't want to be, we just want to follow their directions. We want to do this, and they understand how to flow through a little bit better. It's been very fun for us.
I mentioned that we have the privilege to watch you guys 5 times a year.
Yeah.
And during the halftime, I get to host the halftime program on the radio and television and talk about the Myra Music Scholar of the Week that we do.
Yes, right.
And which is fantastic. And what I learned about, and I always say for over 48 years, Myra Music has reminded you that making music makes you smarter.
Yes.
And that is true.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I read these bios of these youngsters, okay, who are in band, these young adults who are in band, and the things that they're involved in, National Honor Society, advanced placement courses, other events. It's amazing how they have the time to fit everything into their day. But then I read as well, their GPAs are 4.0, 4.2.
They are good, yes. Well, what happens, my feeling is the way, the philosophy that we have here is that we want students to be well-rounded. I love band. I love music. This is what my passion is, But just down the hall from us is a teacher that has that passion for English, that passion for science, and these students are getting a chance to talk with them and to be in their classes. And we want them to be able to do those things. We've got a lot of football players. We have a varsity starting player who plays sousaphone for us, and is just one of the most amazing young men you'd ever want to teach. And we want that. We've got a couple of varsity swimmers. We've got volleyball players, softball players, tennis players, golf, and we want that. That's what helps us. We'll have the rest of our lives to do one thing.
Yep.
This is the time in our life to continue to try to do as many as possible. And there'll come a time when some of those folks are, they're so good at forensics or debate, or they're so good at FBLA or something that they need to go that next level. And, we always wish them well. But until that point comes, and for many students, it never has to come, and they're able to do it all. And, that keeps them organized. And it really, honestly, instead of hurting their academics, most time it helps. Because instead of being able to go home and be a little bit lazy and not do your homework, they only have so much time. So they make it happen. They get it done.
It's going to be focus that you learn from being a member of the any marching band.
Any marching band. Any choir, any orchestra, all those things, it's great.
Everyone loves music.
Yes.
Have you ever met anyone that doesn't like music?
Not yet.
Not
I
yet?
sure hope I don't. But I've got an arsenal of things I really enjoy if I ever meet them, so it's okay. I'll pull out something and say, you really don't like this. So
It's okay. It's best. Okay, so you hosted your own invitational. You went over to Blue Springs for the Golden Regiment. Where else are you headed to?
Let's see. This is homecoming week for us, so we'll just perform at halftime. Depending on, I'll have to ask the meteorologist, whether we get a chance to perform this week or not. But it's supposed to rain. But then we go to Mizzou on the 18th of October, and we finish the year in Warrensburg at UCM at the Festival of Champions. One of them is a Champion of Champions. The other is a Festival of Champions. I think I got them right, but yeah.
Okay, well, tell us about your past success, because I want you to blow a little bit here.
Well,
at Mizzou, tell us about, is it the past 2 years?
Well, we didn't go there a year ago.
Okay.
A year ago, we decided to just to take a break. There was a couple other things. We'd been to Tulsa, Oklahoma the year before, and we had done well, and so we chose to go back down there. And we finished the highest placement that Blue Springs South has ever finished at the Renegade Review a year ago, and we were third place behind two terrific programs, and honestly ahead of several really terrific programs that went on the next week to St. Louis. One of the bands would finish behind us, and the two in front of us all made finals at that show, and that was really, really cool to see that we're in that kind of conversation. And
Right.
so we'll go back there this year, but we usually do pretty well. It's an interesting event. We love the venue, but you know, the activity we're in is subjective. You know, somebody's going to decide what points it is,
Right.
and you know, one week it's so funny. You know, one week it's 60 points, the next week it's 80, and it doesn't really matter. We're going to continue being as great as we can be, and
Right, but
that's
I'll
what we
gloat
do.
for you just a little
Yes,
bit.
you
did take the year off at Mizzou.
We did.
Now you're back, okay? But you took the year off as back-to-back defending champions.
3-time, yeah.
3 times. I'm sorry, 3
Three-time
times.
defending champions.
3
yeah.
times. Thanks, Pete.
Yeah.
But, last
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
What do you love about being the band director here at Blue Springs South?
Well, you know, I've been fortunate to be in several different districts, and the one thing about South is the students are they're unique. They're great. That their work ethic, they really have a lot of resources here, and South is unique from the standpoint that the school really supports all of its activities, but it really supports the band program, and it's so from that standpoint is great. And the students just have that, I don't know, kind of that lunch pail mentality. They just come and they're just going to work really hard, and they're going to get it done, and they do. That's what happens on a daily basis, and it's just a wonderful place to teach.
You know what I love about this place is that you walk into it and there's a can-do spirit, okay? It puts a bounce in your step. There's an ambiance of we can get it done,
Yeah.
okay? Success. And that's from everyone, from the custodians when you walk
Yes.
in who are so friendly. They're
amazing here.
Wearing the
Yeah.
the Jaguar pride everywhere, all the way up to Dr. Belt.
Yeah.
Okay, and it goes all the way up to Dr. Finley.
Yes.
Okay, but here at Blue Springs South, there's just an ambiance it's just fantastic, and you feel it, and it just makes you want to do great things. And there are a lot of great things being done here.
Yes. It's, we've hosted a couple of other groups that have come in recently and used our facilities for different things, and they're always blown away by how old the school actually is. And they're like, this is brand new, isn't it? No, it's not. I mean, we've had some facelifts and stuff, but we do such a great job. All the custodial team and all of those things, the place looks so great every day when you walk in, that when you walk in, you can't help but just love being here. And it is. You walk down the hallway, everybody smiles. You walk down the hallway, everybody's talking to you, and they want everything to be great. Like I said a minute ago, you walk down any of these hallways, and they all have the same passion for their subjects that I do, and that's not everywhere.
Yes,
but that is here at South.
You're totally correct. It's always a great time to be a Jaguar.
It is, absolutely.
Well, Ken Hansen, I want to thank you so much for joining us today on Posse Blue Springs. Continued success. Congratulations on all your accomplishments, and we know there's going to be many, many more down the roads. And once again, I want to say what a privilege it is. We always look forward to halftime when we do the football games. We can see that Jaguar pride, and you can feel it in that stadium. You can see those band parents up, and then you see all the students there, because when the Jaguar pride is on, okay, all eyes there on the field, and it's just like the Jaguar football team. Okay, excellent. Thank you so much for joining
Absolutely.
us.
Thanks for letting me be here. Appreciate it.
You
Thank
betcha, sir.
All right.
Okay. This is Positive Blue Springs, a presentation of the BSSD Media Network.